how is everyone doing today? It's the Gaming Sane here, and people on Facebook actually suggested for me to do a review on Dragon Ball Z. I went on YouTube and I searched the web, and there really aren't that many videos like reviews on Dragon Ball Z. There are a lot of written ones, but there aren't a lot of videos where people are talking, they're explaining the review. Before I start this review off, I do want to remind you guys that most things, or some things, are all based on my opinion. If I say something and you guys don't agree, don't be very negative about it, because I am saying that I will say a lot of stuff and they're in my opinion, but the rest will be facts, like the reception and the legacy and whatnot. So this is the very first time I've ever done a review on anything. Hopefully I do a pretty good job and you guys enjoy it. So I'm 16 years old. I started watching Dragon Ball Z when, I think in 2002, because I live in Australia and we had these shows like we had Cartoon Network. I didn't really watch it on Cartoon Network that much, but we had shows like Toasted TV and, you know, just shows like that. And so I started watching it in the morning. My brother got me introduced into Dragon Ball Z. He's at 28 and he's a big fan of Dragon Ball Z as well. And I watched the first couple of episodes and I was so interested. Like, my mindset back then was very simplistic, you know, because I was a little kid and I was thinking, oh, fight scenes, cool, but I remember it was the first time that I ever got actually sucked into a show. And then as the days went on and, you know, I started getting older, I got, like, I had a lot of emotions towards the show. Like, if the show was to be removed, then I'll get really sad, because when I'd come home, if I wasn't doing something with my friends, or I just come home and had some spare time, it'll always be watching Dragon Ball Z. And honestly, the first time Goku ever turned Super Saiyan, I was so excited, I almost cried. I was very anticipated for it. It just looked so awesome to see the galactic overlord Frieza, you know, the evil bastard he is, and Goku overcoming, you know, the challenges, and him finally turning into a Super Saiyan, and the gold aura that just was around him. It was amazing. It was one of the best feelings I've had as watching a show when I was a kid that I can remember. It was just amazing. Dragon Ball Z means so much to me, and the best way I can express my feelings is by saying them in this review. Okay, what Dragon Ball Z is most well known for is the characters and the fight scenes and the story. A lot of people think that Dragon Ball Z suffers from repetition, and in some aspects of the show it does. And sometimes Krillin just says the same things over and over and over and over and over again. It's like he's saying, you know, Goku, just wait, we have to fight him together. He said that at least 3-4 times in the show. That can get a little bit old. It's the same with every other character like Piccolo. And also the fight scenes, people say they drag on. I don't mind that too much, because it expands, you know, the show, and there's a lot of quantity in the show, but there's also a lot of quality. Dragon Ball Z can teach people morals. It has been interpreted by so many ways in different cultures and races. You know, a rapper, I forgot his name, he has a rap group, and someone posted this on my Facebook, so I thought I'd share it. He said that Dragon Ball Z is basically a black man's life in America back when, you know, black people suffered from segregation and all that stuff, and they were being treated poorly by the white person. And I got affected by that greatly, because the person does make a point. I don't think, in my opinion, Dragon Ball Z is based off that, but that just comes to show how much morals and values Dragon Ball Z can teach a person. So repetition and the fight scenes that span out for, I think the Frieza fight actually spanned out for over 20 episodes, which is probably the longest fight in anime history. I can't confirm that, but if it's not the longest, then it's definitely one of the longest. The fighting dragging out I enjoyed that, so I'm not gonna put a negative aspect on Dragon Ball Z on something that I enjoy, because I like when the fight scenes dragged out. The script can get repetitive. I don't know if that's Funimation's fault, because they might have changed it in the Japanese version, and Funimation, they took that and then they expanded on that. You know, they kept saying the same things over and over again. So that didn't bother me too much. The script bothered me a little bit because, you know, it got repetitive, and you could tell. Now the story, a lot of hate about the story. To me, Dragon Ball Z has an amazing story. Right from when we start learning about the legend of the Super Saiyan, then the show gets more and more interesting, because you're so intrigued and you're thinking, Super Saiyan, wait, a Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan? What's this, you know? People start getting so interested in it, and they got more sucked in. That was the same thing for me. Honestly, I loved the story. I loved, even after the Frieza saga, how things still felt, you know, like they had a sense of originality to them, because Trunks came back from the future. That was a big turning point. That was awesome. And Trunks having his own story back in his time, and he's explaining what happened, and also Goku not being able to fight because he had the heart virus. So that was awesome for me. Story, I loved. The story can get repetitive. It depends what you're basing it off and how you see the story, but to me it wasn't repetitive. As Dragon Ball Z went on, it felt like there was some sort of freshness to it. Like, it got fresh. I can't really explain it properly, but that's just my opinion. Again, this video is filled with my opinions and my interpretations of the show. Now, Dragon Ball Z had a massive impact on the world. It is one of the most popular mangas, animes of all time. It was viewed in more than 45 countries. We got India, you know, Italy, America, Japan, Australia, just everywhere. 45 different countries, and that's not far off from The Simpsons either. The Simpsons was viewed in, I think, 58 countries or 55 countries. Dragon Ball Z was one of those shows that it just lasted like for so long, and they also, like on Cartoon Network and Toaster TV, they kept playing it over and over and over again. They had the Saiyan saga up to the Frieza saga, and they kept playing over and over and over again, and I never got bored of it. Seriously, I never got bored of it. I'd always sit in front of that TV and just watch the same things over and over again. I knew what would happen. I knew Goku would die. I knew Raditz would die. I knew Vegeta would turn I take that back. He was a bad guy all the way up to the Cell saga. But I knew what would happen. But I just still was so interested. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z had a massive impact everywhere around the world. Let's move on to characters now. The characters, we got the main characters, you know, Goku. Well, the main characters, really, if you can say it that way, are the Saiyans, with also Piccolo on the side, and Yamcha and Tien. I got a bit disappointed with the character involvement in terms of the Majin Buu saga, because, let's just face it, if you weren't a Saiyan in the Majin Buu saga, you're fucked. Really, that's just how it was. I know, because the character, the enemy was so strong, but Akira Toriyama in this aspect could have widened that the Majin Buu saga, so at least some more people can be more active and more helpful, because in the Cell saga, even Tien was helpful. That was awesome, seeing him hold back Cell in that ditch with his tri-beam. That was awesome. So that was a good thing for the Cell saga. As for the Majin Buu saga, a little bit disappointing. The fight with Buu after a while got a little bit plain, and then when they introduced the Spirit Bomb finally killing Majin Buu, then it got a little bit more interested, and then the show came to an end. The show was originally supposed to end on the Frieza saga, which where Goku died, but you know, due to popular demand, they brought it back. So the characters, I'm a fanboy of a protagonist. I love Goku. He is my #1 favorite character of all time, of any TV show, just of anything. And then second would be, I don't know, because I love Piccolo, I love Vegeta. It's either Piccolo or Vegeta. I do love Gohan too, but he doesn't have that, just that feeling that makes, you know, Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo so great, because with him it's like, it's a bit, it changes, you know, it's like, I want to fight, I don't want to fight. And then with Goku, you know, he just has his mindset on one thing, you know, he's like, alright, I'm gonna fight this dude, I'm gonna fight the next dude, I'm gonna fight everyone. until I give up. With Gohan, it's just like, you know, I'm gonna fight this dude, I'm not gonna fight that dude, because when he wants to fight someone, you know, it's on and off. He really doesn't want to fight anyone. I don't know if I can blame it on Chi-Chi, that bitch, or just the way he is. So characters, I love them. There are characters I do hate, like Chi-Chi and Bulma. They get annoying a lot of the times, and there are characters I hate. Let's see. I love Oolong, I love Yajirobe, I love Korin, I love Kami. Pua, that's it. I freaking hate Pua. I don't know why, but I hate that dumb little cat. It was just so annoying to me a lot of the times. In Dragon Ball, all I wanted to do was place Pua on the floor and then continuously stomp on her. I think it's a her or a guy. I don't know, I don't really care. So in terms of characters, yes, I love most characters, and with other characters I do not like. But you know, that's with every show. You have characters you don't like, and then you have characters you like, and that's what really makes a show great, because let's just face it, there is no show in the universe that's perfect. So we've done characters, let's go on to the fight scenes. Fight scenes, they were incredible for its time. They were amazing. You compare Dragon Ball Z fight scenes now to an average American TV show like a Superman show or Batman, and even the modern ones, and you would get Dragon Ball Z's outcome would be so much more better. The suspense and pacing of the fight scenes were amazing, and not to mention the animation. The colors were awesome. A lot of people have a lot of hate for the animation, but seriously, for something in the late 80s and early 90s, the fight scenes and animation were amazing. I loved them. That's one of the things that kept me hooked onto the show, because I loved the fight scenes. Something I didn't like was when FUNimation kept, like, they added a lot of censorship towards it. It's just like, bitch, I want to view Dragon Ball Z in all its beauty. So the fight scenes I really loved. Also, the soundtrack of Dragon Ball Z in the FUNimation dub, that was composed by Bruce Faulconer. The entire thing, the soundtrack is the best I've ever heard in anything. I love the soundtrack. The one where Gohan's anger, where he's powering up to a Super Saiyan 2, and it plays that violin like that one was one of my best. Not to mention the Super Saiyan 3 theme song. That was freaking awesome. I love that theme song. I love when Goku's powering up. Also, the voices of Dragon Ball Z, the FUNimation dub, they were excellent, especially Goku. The amount of effort, which is Sean Schemmel obviously, the amount of effort he puts into his screams shows me that he is dedicated to his job. He loves Goku. Goku's probably his favorite character to voice, because he voices a lot. And the screams that he did, especially for the Majin Buu saga, when we first see him turn into a Super Saiyan 3, and also in Dragon Ball Z movie 12, I think it was, Fusion Reborn, when he's turning into a Super Saiyan against Fat Janempa, Super Saiyan 3, that one yell was just amazing. Also, Vegeta and Piccolo's voice, I loved. I don't have any complaints about the voices actually, except for Pa. Hate that cat's voice. So guys, just to sum it up, Dragon Ball Z is an extraordinary anime. It is definitely my favorite TV show of all time. There are scenes that can make you laugh, scenes that can make you cry, and scenes that can make you angry. Dragon Ball Z has inspired like massive amount of people. You know, some people want to become Super Saiyan. Some people, like, I've tried doing Kamehameha before. It didn't work. The first time, the second time it worked, but it has inspired so many other animes. Without Dragon Ball Z, honestly, we wouldn't have One Piece, we wouldn't have Bleach, we wouldn't have Naruto. And a lot of people say, you know, Dragon Ball Z sucks because Naruto is way better. Seriously, you gotta give some credit to Dragon Ball Z, because it is the reason why we have so much of these other great action shows. Dragon Ball Z single-handedly brought anime to the Western society. It single-handedly did that. And that's why it is one of the most influential TV shows of all time, or should I say anime. I don't know if I'm being a bit too... I probably need to check my facts on TV shows, but he's definitely one of the most influential animes of all time. And for its time, the animation is still awesome. If you're new to the show, I suggest you watch it from episode 1 all the way through. Do not watch Kai, do not take a shortcut. Dragon Ball Z, the original, is so much more better than Kai. People nowadays, like young kids, they're watching Kai because that's what they air. Seriously, Kai is crap compared to the original series. I still loved Kai. It's Dragon Ball Z, you know, but Z itself, the original series, is the best. It probably is my life in terms of entertainment as a child. It is just so awesome, and today I dedicate like 3 YouTube channels, a Facebook page to Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z. If you guys want to check me down on Facebook and message me anything about the show, then you can. Any questions, guys, I will respond to anyone. If you just want to talk in general, but if you want to talk about Dragon Ball Z, just head down there, like that Facebook button. I will have a lot of great content. Now, this review wasn't planned out at all. I just asked people on Facebook if they want me to do a review, and I got great feedback from it, so I'm just like, you know what, hopped up straight away and jumped right into it. I didn't have a script, you know, I didn't prepare for this, but that's just my take on Dragon Ball Z. I give Dragon Ball Z a 10 out of 10. It is, in my opinion, the greatest TV show ever made. That is my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Make sure you like this Facebook video. Please, if you can, get the word out on this video, because there are like little reviews on Dragon Ball Z. I'm not doing this to share myself, but I want to share my opinion with as much people as possible. So if you guys could share this video, then that would mean a ton. That would mean a lot to me. I know this video was long, but that's my review on Dragon Ball Z, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to do a review and leave it as a video response, then please do. I want to encourage as many people as possible to review Dragon Ball Z, to share Dragon Ball Z, because in one more day, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods will be released. Now, don't think of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods as the end of Dragon Ball Z, but think of it as a start. Gaming Sane signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed.